And welcome into this edition of Wes Hart Live. I'm Roger Hoover. Great to be with you on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. And Wes Hart Live is brought to you by Alabama One Credit Union. They've been voted Tuscaloosa's best credit union and best mortgage lender. Alabama One, a proud supporter of Crimson Tide women's athletics. And today we're talking soccer, and this is going to be the start of what's going to be a weekly show with Coach Hart. And Coach, it's great to see you. How's everything going for your soccer program?
Yeah, awesome, man. Appreciate you having me on, and we're doing well.
Well, already 2 matches in, the victory against Tennessee and then the draw last Friday against Mississippi State. What have you seen so far from your soccer team?
Yeah, I'm pretty pleased. I think we're in a good spot. A lot of parity in the league this year, and I think it'll continue that way throughout the season. Just with a lot of good teams, and just with COVID and injuries, and the fact teams have been off for 6 months. I mean, I just think this year is going to be a bit crazy, and I think after 2 weeks we find ourselves near the top of the table, and I think we're in a good spot so far.
Let's talk first about that victory against Tennessee. It was the season opener on September 19th as Alabama got the win 3-1 over the Vols. And just how many unknowns were there for you going into that matchup with no non-conference play, not getting to scrimmage really any other teams? I'm sure you guys were just happy to see another color other than crimson and gray on the field.
Yeah, for sure. And we had planned on doing weekly scrimmages against each other throughout the preseason, that 6-week preseason. And unfortunately for us, too many quarantines and too many injuries to really have many 11v11 games at all. So we were kind of going into it blind. And to be fair, I think we exceeded my expectations in terms of the quality of play. I thought that we had a very good game on both sides of the ball. Not just because we got the result, but I thought we did some very good things in that game. So that first Tennessee game, I thought it was an excellent way to start, and then followed up with Mississippi State. I don't think we played as well as we did against Tennessee. In credit to Mississippi State, I think they made it difficult for us. They broke up a lot of our rhythm and our passing. I thought it was an okay second game, and we got out of there with a point.
Certainly did, and Felicia Knox was able to score pretty early on for your team. Kind of what led to her early goal in Starkville?
Yeah, it was something a little bit different. I mean, usually we're trying to build our attack by combination play and getting in behind them. And this particular play, kind of just a dumped ball into the box, and we were able to pick up the rebound, and Felicia hit an incredible volley and scored a great goal. So pretty special first career goal for her, and a big goal for our team. To get us, on the board against Mississippi State early.
Yeah, Alabama gets to have that 1-0 lead for the majority of the match, and then Mississippi State was able to score late. Kind of how do you use that as a teaching moment moving forward for the Crimson Tide?
Yeah, disappointed with how we managed the game at the end, and we told our team we wanted to make aggressive mistakes, and at the end of the day, I mean, it was an aggressive mistake that we made. With about 20 seconds left in the game, they fouled us. And we literally could have just run out the clock. We could have taken our time getting to the ball, and instead, we played quickly, which we oftentimes encourage our team to do. On any kind of set pieces, we typically try to up the tempo and play fast. But this particular moment is one that we didn't want to play fast. But yet we had our forward makes an aggressive run to the corner, calling for the ball. There's other players around the ball, shouting at the player on the ball to play it. And then we ended up playing it quickly, and next thing you know, the ball's coming right back at us, and we really weren't set. I think half the team thought we were going to run it out, and the other half of the team wanted to play, and just kind of weren't on the same page. And a terrible way to cough up. As you said, we led for the majority of the game, so we led for about 85 minutes after scoring that first goal, but they were able to equalize with 1 second left, and kind of gut wrenching, but at the same time, as you mentioned, we hopefully learn from it and don't make the same mistake again.
You played 18 players on Friday against Mississippi State. Are you happy with the depth of the team so far?
Oh, for sure. And there's a number of players that didn't get in the game or that got limited minutes that I'd love to see play more. A typical SEC weekend in a normal non-COVID year. We're playing 2 games a weekend, and you're probably using 22 or 23 players, and we certainly have that luxury because I think we're that deep. But it's just hard to get everyone the minutes that they probably deserve.
So far, we've seen McKinley Crone as your goalkeeper. What have you seen from her in between the posts so far this year?
Yeah, I think she's been fantastic, and she's a player that's coming off injury. She didn't train at all in the spring. She didn't play last fall with Oklahoma because she was injured. Didn't play at all in the spring. The summer was spent kind of rehabbing, early preseason. She didn't play a lot. So for a goalkeeper that's not really played much in the past year, I think she's exceeded my expectations. I think she's excellent playing off her line. She stays connected with our backs, with our back line. She stays connected with them. I think she's got a good presence, good calm, composure. We're not afraid to play a ball through her in our build out. She's handled high balls well. Really can't, a couple breakaways each game. I think she's faced at least a breakaway or two, and she's come up big. So, I don't fault her for either of the goals we gave up, and I think she's kept a few out of the back of the net, which is what you're looking for out of a goalkeeper.
So now you all are 2 matches in. You've gotten to see COVID protocols in place, both here in Tuscaloosa, on the road in Starkville. Just how different is game day this year?
Yeah, it's very interesting. In a normal year, you are focused on injuries, and you got to be conscious of that. But it's a lot more predictable in terms of the COVID. When we're testing 3 times a week, and at any moment, a player could pop positive, and not only that player, now all of a sudden her roommates or close contacts. So, we've tried not to get too specific in our planning and our preparation with certain players. We don't want to, kind of start prepping on a Tuesday or Wednesday with certain players in the lineup, and then all of a sudden, find out they're not even going to be available for Saturday or Sunday. So, we kind of same thing with the travel roster. We didn't name a travel roster till the day we left, and that's how we're going to continue doing things. I think we got to keep everything pretty generic, until right before kickoff when we know who's actually available for the game.
And now coming up, you get to go on the road again, get to go to Gainesville to take on the Florida Gators. Becky Burley always seems like she has a really talented team. What can you tell us about Florida this year?
Yeah, it's tough to tell because we've only got to see them play one time. But traditionally, I mean, it's probably one of the best programs in the conference. Year in and year out, you can expect them to be at or near the top. Becky's been incredibly successful with that program, and I don't know that we've had a ton of success against them, but I think we've got probably our most talented team that we've had in years, and so we're excited to head into Gainesville and see what we can do.
Yeah, as we wrap things up, what are you hoping to see the most coming up this weekend?
I would like to see from our group, just continuing to build and learn. We've been able to take a lot from each of our 2 games, on both sides of the ball. Little things. On the attacking side, I think we could be a bit more patient. Our build out is always patient, but if there's the opportunity to go quickly and then fair enough. But I thought there's too many games in the Mississippi State where we got the ball in their half of the field, and we were just so darn eager to get to goal, and then the game kind of turns into a track meet back and forth. And I think we want to be able to control that tempo a little bit more and keep possession a bit longer in certain moments. But overall, I think we're in a good spot after 2 weeks, and looking forward to that game against Florida.
Well, Coach, thank you for joining us. Roll Tide, and best of luck against the Gators. We look forward to visiting with you again next week. Thanks again.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, Roger. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, that is Wes Hart, and thank you for watching the Crimson Tide Sports Network.